What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today, man, I'm excited to go ahead and try out another SugoFest exclusive here in Rumble, and today we're going to be covering the brand newly released Kizuna Clash legend, Boa Hancock. Now, this character definitely has some reminiscing abilities of the previous Boa Hancock, referring to the waifus, like Annie Limited Legend, in the fact that the confusion debuff finally makes its appearance once again. As, you know, the first appearance of the confusion debuff was with that waifu character. We hadn't had one since, and now we finally have it again with yet another Boa Hancock character. So the comparisons are going to come in which character would you rather use on your team. Would you rather go ahead and use this Boa or the waifus? Now, I have preemptively used this a little bit on stream after I did pull the character, and this character is interesting, but I don't know if it's going to be ultimately amazing for you know, the strength teams or optimal. So let's go ahead and see what we can find today. As for what this character actually does, her rumble ability is very good actually. It gives defense and HP level 5 to strength, and then for the first 30 seconds you get level 5 speed. Level 5 speed, like, speed's a very, very weird buff, but the defense and HP is just phenomenal, and strength don't have a lot of good defensively focused characters, so this is great. And then her rumble special, 35 CT, is very, very high, but then she targets one character for 1.5 times attack 5 different times, and then targets all enemies for a 30% chance of confusion for 10 seconds, and then if you have a Marigold or a Sanderzonia on the team, you also get to target all enemies for 30% chance of action bind for 10 seconds. So there are some very niche circumstances where you could have this special pop off and get amazing benefits out of it. However, the fact that it's only 30% chance to hit, and it's not a lot of damage for a 35 CT, isn't great. But of course, we are going to be partnering this up with the Rumble Rare Recruit Sanderzonia, who is going to be phenomenal, and the whole focus of this team is to utilize this special of Sanderzonia, which gives 15% CT reduction to strength, along with the Toki character, who also does a very similar thing, 15% CT reduction for strength. So by using the special of Sanderzonia and Toki, hopefully we get a lot of CT reduction very quickly, so that our specials of Odin, Kid, and Boa Hancock are able to proc, and we can do very, very good damage. So that is the focus of this team. Obviously, we just got some Rumble Rare Recruits on the bench to fill out the rest of the squad. So without further ado, let's go ahead and find some opponents. So here is our first opponent. Now, this is a very scary looking team. I usually don't want to challenge Lucci's, especially with strength teams, because they are very frail. And Lucci has a very similar effect to Super Type Kaido, where he does mass defense reduction and then does very good damage. So I'm very worried about him. Obviously, Luffy's a big problem. Cat Viper can definitely be an issue here. And Queen on the bench is a very interesting choice. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're really hoping that we can proc that Luffy revive as quick as we possibly can, and then hopefully just start wave clearing from there. That's going to be best case scenario and giving us the best opportunity to win. A lot of people still underrate that DEX Lucci legend. I don't know why. He is honestly a very good choice for DEX. We'll have to see how things progress as things go on, but if you are running a more offensively focused DEX, then, you know, Lucci might not be a terrible option, to be perfectly honest. Anyways, we're starting off pretty good though. We're doing really good damage to that Lucci sitting in the front row. We need some specials to go though. Let's see who's going to be launching first. Kid isn't going to launch, but we are going to get our Sanderzonia. Not before we get the Lucci special. It does do very good damage. At least Toki will give us a little bit of heal back, so we can at least have that. But now all of our specials are ready to go. So this is exactly what we wanted. Okay, so very good damage there from Sanderzonia. Cat Viper will come through. Hopefully we tank it very well. Still does a pretty decent amount of damage. Here's Odin though, hopefully get the Luffy proc. There's the Luffy proc and very good damage there, knocking out Lucci and Dalton. And here we go, Boa Hancock, actually just knocking out the all opposing enemies, should we say. And yeah, we don't even get the chance to proc the effect of the Boa for confusion or action bind. So from this point here, it's just it's a free win. That was a very fast win. It was a 45-second victory. Yo, that doesn't happen too often against a DEX team, with a strength team no less. So that was a very, very efficient showing of how the team can just steamroll these DEX teams. Of course, you're only really going to be using a strength team against DEX teams, which is what we're going to be showcasing in this video. But this is just a new way that the strength teams can combat some of these really bulky DEX squads. And here we go with another relatively annoying looking DEX team. So you've got the main, like, hard hitting units. You got Cat, you got Luffy, but then we have Pearl, which is a very, very good Rumble Rare recruit. And then once again, Lucci and DEX Zoro. So again, this is a very offensively focused team. I'm going to hopefully find an extremely bulky defensive DEX team, hopefully to finish this video off. But let's see what we can do against this really offensively focused team. Roronoa Zoro is a very interesting choice for their team because he does, I think, apply some CT increase for his opposing side. So he's going to be kind of annoying. So he does allow them to launch their specials a lot quicker than what we are able to do. But best case scenario, we get Toki or Sanderzonia to go first, so it makes the rest of our specials ready to go, and then we can just go off from there. So here's Toki, which is fantastic, going to give increased CT. Unfortunately, it looks like Boa is going to just miss out on launching her special, which is very unfortunate for us. So now we have all specials ready to go. Good damage coming in there. Lucci will launch, so this is going to hurt just a little bit. That was decent damage, but they're all in a line, so hopefully Odin comes in with some very good damage, fixed, and the wave clear, knocking out the Lucci and the Zoro, the two most offensive units on their squad, dead with the first Odin special, which is fantastic for us. The Luffy proc has already happened with the revive. We have Kid coming in here for a huge wave clear. Boom, knocking out the Cat and the Luffy, and with that, we should get the very clean victory from here. Pell's going to come in and try his best, but we're able to tank that very well. Boa Hancock has such a very good bulky rumble ability of level 5 health and defense, which is massive for our squad. Also, Toki has a very good defensive rumble ability too. It just works so well against these DEX teams, like just melting through them. Another 44-second victory against a very offensively focused DEX team, just tearing through these squads. Alright, so here we have a defensively focused team with Brook. You've got Kid and also Luffy. Like, those three units are extremely good on defensive DEX teams, and because they are so bulky, they've got Doflamingo, which can help them out a lot too. Ideally, I'd want to focus on a team that's like a super bulky DEX team with Dofi on the bench to come in late game and try and put on some pressure. So let's see what happens this time around. Obviously, they've got Brook, which can provide them with very good healing capabilities. So the ideal situation here is that we stop them from doing that before that can occur, which we want to do either by killing Brook, or we want to do it by activating Confusion or Action Bind with the Boa Hancock special. So ideally, that's what happens here, but let's see how this game actually will go along here. So Odin is going to whiff the special, or just miss the special, unfortunately, but he will get it when he comes back around. Unfortunately, Sanderzonia and Toki are launching right before these characters get to the top of the order, which is a little bit of a shame. Dofi's not going to do too much damage right now, but at least we get a Kid launch straight off the bat, which is actually kind of cool. Good damage. Unfortunately, does not activate the revive of Luffy just quite yet. Luffy is below 50%, so I think he actually will max special charge the Dofi again. So that's really unlucky. So that's one of the big components of Dex Luffy and why he's so annoying to deal with. Hopefully get a knockout or two here. Okay, unfortunately didn't knock out the Brook. Kid's going to go in and give them even more defense, and actually does very good damage too. Like, he's such a scary character. We do have Boa coming in, so hopefully we can get the Confusion. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and we didn't get a Confusion, but we did Action Bind the Doflamingo, which is actually really cool. Unfortunately, we are going to get the Brook heal. I mean, that's annoying, and he does do defense as well. Sanderzonia just missed her special. We'll get a bit of health back, that's okay. Specials aren't completely ready yet. Kid! Oh, Kid just missed, that would have been so perfect. Okay, here's Sanderzonia again. Sanderzonia actually does do pretty decent damage. Some more CT reduction. Toki's going to come in. Unfortunately, no special quite yet. Odin, though. Odin. Oh, so good. Getting rid of that Luffy. Though I'm so scared of Dofi right now. This could be really bad for us. Oh my god, so much damage. I don't know how, but we somehow still survive. And here's the Kid damage. This is also going to hurt. Getting rid of Sanderzonia. Okay, here's our Kid, though. Damage through defense. And that is a victory. So that was definitely a more scary of a team to take on, but even with all of that being said, we were still able to kind of tear through it, getting Kid to launch multiple times for damage through defense, potentially getting those debuffs with Boa Hancock, and of course Odin is a massively hard-hitting unit. Relying on those two characters for damage, you have the special cooldowns that consistently coming in from Sanderzonia and Toki, and then Boa Hancock for that little bit of extra spice on top, which is, this is a very good team against these DEX teams on defense in Pirate Rumble, which is so good. So in conclusion, I think Boa Hancock is actually not a bad option. The main benefit that you get from using this character in Rumble is her amazing Pirate Rumble ability, giving your teams so much extra bulk. You do get additional speed at the start of the quest, which I'm not really too sure is that useful, but the extra bulk is what they need. And I know that some teams will opt to use Legend Jack, for example. However, after a certain amount of time, Jack's defense in his Rumble ability does wane, where you have a character such as this, which can automatically all the time level 5 defense, level 5 health. That is awesome. And then of course, if you partner up with some of the more offensively focused characters like, you know, Legend Kid or Legend Odin, or even with the recent Rumble ability buffs of Legend Kuma, for example, that could also be a pretty good option to be using in these teams for his mass damage and damage through defense. So I think that Strength have a lot of options. They've got a lot of characters that you can potentially use in Rumble. So this is just another character that you may opt to use. And to be honest, I haven't had any unsuccessful attempts against a DEX team yet with this team in Pirate Rumble. So as of right now, this probably will be my go-to strength team. I'm not too sure about Grand Party though. I think in Grand Party this team might not be as powerful, but I think either way this is a really fun team to use in Rumble utilizing this brand new Legend Boa Hancock. So that is going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that guys, I will see you guys within the next video.